What's up, fam? Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. Today, we are taking a look at a very special knife. This is a knife that a lot of you probably don't know about or have not seen before, as it's not a big brand. It's not an extremely well-known brand. But this is the Beans Blades Mini Warrior. So owner Derek Beans, awesome guy. If you have the pleasure of meeting him, going to a blade show or going to the Blade Runner Bazaar that goes on twice a year there in Tennessee. Again, Texas Blade Show, Atlanta Blade Show. He's usually there at both of those. May even be at Blade Show West. I don't know. I've never been to that one. But anyway, if you have a chance of meeting the guy, absolutely awesome individual. He makes some extremely badass fixed blades. And then he has production folders made through BE.EDC. He has another version, or another one of his fixed blades going into a folder coming soon, and he'll have those at Blade Show Atlanta. But anyway, about the Mini Warrior here, you're looking at a 3 1/4 inch blade, 7 1/4 inches overall, and I don't have a weight here for whatever reason, so let's look at the weight. We are looking at 5.6 ounces, so it is a fairly heavy knife for your blade, but you've got a pretty thick chunk of M390 here, as well as some pretty good sized slabs of titanium and carbon fiber. Now, there are a ton of different versions of this knife, different variations from blade. You got some exclusives that have full serrations. There's black bladed ones. There's plain tie here on the bolsters. Then there's a couple of different versions of carbon fiber. There's full titanium versions. You name it, they got it. And this version, and there's a few other versions that are exclusives for Blade Runner Outpost. So just check out their website. I'll have them linked down below for all of their versions. All the available versions will be there. Again, these are BE.EDC OEM'd. Price tag anywhere between $370 and $465, depending on which version you get. Really, really awesome knife. And amazing action. Of course, it's BE.EDC build quality, so there's no second guessing that. I love having the fuller for an opening mechanism. The flipper, for once, doesn't bother me. This flipper is absolutely awesome. It works amazing. And then having that fuller for reverse flicking as well just works really, really, really stinking well. Let's go ahead and jump into the close-ups on this knife. So again, we have that black wash titanium there, and that really cool stylized pivot. Flipper is done extremely well. We have jimping in all the right places. So for it, no matter how you want to do it, if you want to do a push button, you've got jimping. If you want to do a light switch, you've got jimping there. Inlays are done well. You do have, or overlays, I guess you can call them, done very well. Absolutely no stepping or anything there. Very good job by BE.EDC on that. Contouring all the way around. The contouring is done well. Again, everything is perfectly done. Flush screws. We do have T6 and T8 hardware on this guy. No lefty love here. We do have a small little quarter length back spacer. The rest of it is all open. Really great pocket clip. It is tight, but it does work well. If you have some thicker jean material, it may be a little more tight going in and out until it gets broken in. For me, I haven't had that issue. Standard single lock bar relief there. Going in, we have a standard lock bar insert. That same stylized pivot. Go ahead and checking in on blade centering. Blade centering is perfect. You can see that right there. Absolutely spot on. There you can kind of see that first introduction into that big old thick blade. So this is a 4mm blade stock. And then you can see your beautiful satin on this aggressive, very, very modified Tonto. So it's kind of like a, I don't know if you want to call it a drop point Tonto or a clip Tonto or whatever. I don't know what you want to call it. Or reverse Tonto. Again, no clue what you'd want to call this thing. I'm just going to say modified Tonto. You have flat grinds on both. Very, very aggressive secondary point here of secondary tip. Full length fuller, hand satin on your flats, belt satin on your grinds. Plunge grind is decent, but not great. So it does stop before our sharpening, so it doesn't bother sharpening at all, which is nice. You got your Beans Blade logo here. M390 on this side. Go ahead and take a look at that grind again. So really nice job on the sharpening. No issues with the tip from what I can see. Go ahead and take a look at that tip there. So again, tip is nice and flat. Lockup is perfect. So yeah, guys, this knife has been an absolute pleasure to own. This was one I'd been looking at since Blade Show Texas, a little bit before Blade Show Texas, quite honestly. The first time I went to see the guys at Blade Runner, they had these out and let me take a look at them when I did the video with those guys. So go check that out if you haven't already. But they're good friends with Derek, and rightfully so. Derek's an awesome guy. It's been a pleasure getting to know him, and pleasure talking with him every time. You know, got to see him at the bazaar a couple of weeks ago there in Tennessee, and then you know, seen him at Blade Show Texas, and I'll see him again at Atlanta. I don't know when you guys are watching this, but Blade Show Atlanta is just a couple of weeks away. So absolutely phenomenal knife. It feels amazing in the hand. Again, it is a chunk of a knife. It doesn't feel it in your hand, like when you're holding it and in carrying it. It does not feel like you know, that the weight is as substantial as you would think it is. It feels very well balanced in the hand. The flipper action is just phenomenal. You can hear the thing; it thwacks out there. Very well done flipper. You can again reverse flick off of that fuller. Works really, really well. And action's phenomenal. Jimping is done well. It is, again, it's a little short for my liking. I would like it just to be a little bit longer, but that seems to be kind of a running thing here lately. But with the jimping that is there is very, very, very good. I have no issues with that. You can choke up here as well. Again, you have that really strong secondary tip from that Tonto that works for utility cuts very, very well. You get into that utility cut position and it will absolutely just demolish whatever it is you're cutting. Very, very sharp. It is fairly thick behind the edge, so it's not a slicing machine, but it cuts without any issues. It is a half height flat grind on a 4mm blade, so it is like I said, it is fairly thick behind the edge, but it's made to put in work. The knife holds up very well. I have used it quite a bit at work, so cutting, typical cutting tasks, tape, cardboard, plastic straps, things like that, have not had any issues whatsoever. Blade has held up just fine. It's Riot, so their heat treat is very well done, and then again their sharpening is second to none. Their fit and finish is second to none as well from all of the Chinese OEMs. So let me know what you guys think. I know this knife is definitely not for everyone, but it is for a lot of people. This is one of those knives that I think if more folks knew about it, it would be a much more popular knife, and Derek would have a much harder time keeping these things around. Now, he has stopped production on these for the time being. Like I said, he is doing another, his other folder. I cannot remember the name of it, but he has started his production on his other folder. And his folders are just, the folding versions of his fixed blades, his custom fixed blades. So make sure you guys check him out. I'll have him linked down below. I'll have Blade Runner linked down below. Let me know what y'all think about these. Is this something did you know about Beans Blades, or is this something new to you guys? I'm really interested to see who actually, who does and doesn't know about these guys. So anyway, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. As always, please remember to be kind and be humble and be EDC. Y'all take care.